Hey everybody, it's Traci Kennedy with the Resource Group. Right now we're all facing this unprecedented situation affecting our families, our businesses, and our community. We at the Resource Group wanted to start shining some light on different organizations, small businesses, and our communities. So today is our first one, and we're really going to highlight what's happening now in Highlands Ranch. I'm really excited to have Melissa on, along with the Highlands Ranch CEO and General Manager, Jerry Flannery. I like to refer him to as our mayor. And, since Jerry, welcome guys.
Thank you.
Since we can't all be having a beer updating us on what's going on in town, I thought this might be a great way to start some conversation and see what HRCA is doing to pivot during this time, and kind of see what's going on with the facilities and plans for the future as we're all on our stay-at-home order. So guess what I think everyone's probably wondering is what's the plans for events like Beer Fest and the Taste of Highlands Ranch and stuff that I know we all had to press the pause button on.
So we are looking at a lot of our events. And, first of all, just let me say that, from an HRCA perspective, we are a community organization, and we very much exist for the homeowners. And this is a very difficult time when everybody's at home. So the best way we feel that we can do good by the homeowners is to try to provide more virtual services, as well as keep everything intact as much as we can. So when this god-awful pandemic passes us, that we can come back and have our rec centers open without too much of a wrinkle, and you can come back and start working out and start enjoying the programs that we've always had. So, I wish everybody the best while they're at home, and they're having to figure out new ways of doing things, and I think some of those new ways may end up becoming the way that we do things in the future for some things, not all. But to answer your question specifically, the HRCA is looking at all of our events. We are looking at our major ones, like the Taste of Highlands Ranch. We're looking at doing that, and we're recruiting businesses right now and trying to do a virtual Taste of Highlands Ranch. And we're looking at sometime in July for that, because we know that's a very popular thing. And, with all of this Zoom that's going on now, there are virtual happy hours. And I must say, I never have participated in the Zoom meetings and those types of things. And I'd say the last few Fridays, I've had Zoom happy hours with my friends. And it's a fascinating, it's a lot of fun. I didn't realize it was going to be so much fun. So if you think about it, with Taste of Highlands Ranch, a whole lot of people can sign up and enjoy some fun with a lot of other people in Highlands Ranch, and you can still do the socialization without physically being there. The one that is probably near and dear to me, as well as you, Traci, is the Beer Fest. And we're looking at August 29th to reschedule that at Civic Green Park. We are looking at, we've been already teaching preschool online. So those parents are enjoying that. There's a video that's out there on YouTube that shows some of the kids participating and singing and doing their work online, which is really cool. We have workouts online that you can find a lot of this information on hrcaonline.org, and check that out. We have a COVID update on that on the top of the page, as well as all the other things that we're doing. We are still looking in a positive light, because we never stop moving. We are always looking at a 6-month in the future time frame. So when we have something like this hit in March, we're already planning our guides for the fall, and we're already looking at opening classes for summer camp. So we're still going ahead with that, with the hope and thought that this passes, and we're able to open up in June and do a lot of good stuff and continue our summer programs. I think there's going to be a hangover, if you will, from this whole thing, that where people are going to be less likely to want to congregate again. So that's another reason we want to push some of these bigger events that are popular further out, into August versus July or so. We're constantly monitoring that. We're looking at our own internal plans. Our facilities are not completely mothballed, but they are significantly reduced as far as staffing, as well as the utilities. So we're trying to save some money there. We're trying to save money in regard to some of our part-time staffing. We did end up putting them on a reduced wage, but it's also in order to help prevent them from going down to unemployment lines. They'll be brought back as soon as this thing is over and done with. So we're trying to help them with a reduced work load. Internally, we have staff that are working to avoid closures. You know, a lot of times the closures of the rec centers fall in the middle of a busy summer weekend or summer week, and we're looking at taking care of all of those right now while we have this time. And so we have facility staff that are working on that every day of the week, and probably will be for the next 30 to 45 days.
That's awesome. Well, it sounds like you guys are really doing everything you can to keep the employees happy and working and knowing that they'll come back. This is going to change the way we behave after, you know. It's hard for me as like a hugger, you know, I'm a hugger. I don't know, are people going to want to hug me anymore, or handshake, for example, you know, all those things. So, but it will pass, and life will, you know, we're all going to get back to our busy lives again here soon. So, Melissa, what else do you guys talk about in your meetings that you think that would benefit residents of Highlands Ranch?
Really, we're just trying to, you know, these are all unprecedented times, like you said, and I am just really proud of our staff pivoting so quickly. The fact that we were able to get some of these online fitness classes and things like that to keep them working and to keep the community engaged. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback from people just so excited to see their instructors again, because, you know, these are relationships that people have, and it's really tough on everybody, you know, for all of us to be so isolated, you know, and I really love the fact that, you know, I don't like the term social distancing, you know, we shouldn't be socially distanced, we should be physically distant.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're taking that and trying to not be socially distanced, but just be physically distant. And the staff is working tirelessly to try and redo all of these events that have been well planned out. Summer concert series is coming up, and, you know, those bands book up, and now we're trying to figure out how do we do that, and are we going to be able to, and all of the stuff that goes along with it. So they're constantly on a daily basis having to do and redo the same plans over and over again, and trying to figure out, okay, that's not going to work now, what do we need to do?
Well, it sounds like you guys are, business is not as usual, but you're still working really hard for us residents. So thank you, Jerry, and your committee, and everybody who's working so hard to get our rec centers cleaned and ready to go, because I know we're all very anxious to get back to using the facilities and physically socializing again.
You know, one thing I wanted to say in relationship to what you guys do is, in the real estate world, our main focus and our main goal and the board's directives to staff have always been to keep the value of the properties in Highlands Ranch as high as they can. And I think that is a reflection of not only what we do in HRCA to try to keep maintain the value of the properties, but what the community does as a whole. So, you know, with Metro District, with the county, all of these community partners are not, it's just not HRCA, but I think we have a big part of that, where we really look at keeping the value of homes intact and high. And when you buy a house here, you may or may not go to a rec center ever. You may not have set foot in a rec center, but the fact that we have 4 of them, and the fact that we have community events, such as the Beer Fest, such as Oktoberfest, all of the free events that we have, 4th of July, all of those things add to a quality of life in Highlands Ranch that add to the value of the property. So you may never specifically set foot in a rec center, but your dues still go to maintain those rec centers. Your dues also go to help establish these great events that everybody benefits from, even if you never go to one. But when you sell your house, that value is there because of those things. So that's an important thing that I think everybody should know. And we certainly focus on it on a daily basis. We want to make sure that we are here and doing things we can while we can during this time, so that when people do come back, it's hopefully seamless.
Growing up in a different part of the country, I'm from the Northeast, we don't have these kind of master plan communities. So when I have friends and family come out, they're just so blown away at what we have in our little town. Melissa, did you have anything else to share?
Yeah, Jerry, I know that you're so connected to people just even outside of Highlands Ranch and other community leaders. And I'm just curious if you have talked to any of them through all of this, and if there's anything that other communities are doing that's kind of unique, or things that they're doing to get them through the time that are in similar situations as us.
Well, it's interesting you asked that question. I just participated in a teleconference yesterday with the county commissioner, Laura Thomas, and the mayors of most of the cities in Douglas County and the Metro District. And honestly, we are different organizations in structure. They are political subdivisions and governmental entities under the state where they can tax. We are not taxed. We are membership based. Our entire organization is a membership based organization. I believe that we have been more innovative than most anybody else out there. And I'm not just blowing my own horn, but I think we really do have a motivated staff that are very dedicated. You would have thought that I gave a directive to say, come up with virtual preschools. It was floated up to me, and I said, absolutely. That's how engaged our employees are in serving the residents. I think most of the cities in Douglas County are more focused on economic development and the business associations. We are focused on them, but we are limited in what we can do as a community association. We basically can promote and highlight, the different stores that are actually open now. So we are very focused. I sit on the Northwest Douglas County Economic Development Corporation, and I'm a board member on there. They are always looking at helping and assisting the local businesses and small businesses. So if you are a small business, I would highly recommend you contact them, as well as the state. There's a lot of loans out there from small to big organizations, up to 500 people are employees. So I encourage you to do that as well. But I do think most of those cities are realigning some of their staff in regards to their jobs. They may be, let's say, an urban planner who reviews planning documents and those types of things, but they are realigning them to do something in the field, whether it's outside surveying, maybe it's looking at different parks and recreational type facilities and those types of things. So I think those are some innovative things that I've seen from some of the surrounding jurisdictions. Community associations, they're all over the place. And so I think we're the biggest, and we really have to compare ourselves to cities. And even though we don't have the same structure, there's a reason why I was on that phone call versus, another smaller community association. We are more like a city than a sub-association of some kind. So we really, I think, warrant the attention and the credibility to sit on those phone calls where maybe other associations don't.
Well, I want to thank you, Jerry, for your time today, and Melissa, of course, for introducing us to Jerry. I feel like you've offered some amazing advice and just insight to Highlands Ranch residents, and hopefully everybody finds it useful.
Stay safe, everybody, and next time I see you, I'll hug you.
Oh, promise? You promise? Well, I look forward to that. And if you guys have any questions for Jerry or Melissa, you certainly know where to find Melissa and our resource group. But leave us a comment and we will set something up to continue the conversation. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful day and stay well.